It's February 15th, 2018, and I am fully loaded. I am finally walking. Watch this. I'm walking right around the kitchen, past all my whey and chocolate and resveratrol and cashews and cranberries and things. And I can just walk around in my mukluks, in my Harvard sweatpants. And I walked yesterday to Harvard Square in 59 minutes and 43 seconds. I broke the 60-minute mile again with a 2-minute delay. And while I went in there with Rogerio, and we talked about creating a white paper. And I'm going to tell you the outline of this white paper that is going to provide a persuasive story to help people understand how we're going to change the world. And here it is, Thursday, February 15th, and the first page of this white paper is going to talk about our passion to provide a new whole brain 3D conceptual framework for thinking and solving problems. Our aspiration is to unleash human potential to manage technology with creativity. You open it up, and in full color across both pages here is the vision of the whole connected health system. And it goes from a cornucopia over here. I treat California as the cornucopia because that's where a lot of new ideas come from, but it's only metaphorically the source. These ideas can come from anywhere in the world. And this horn of plenty shows the apples and pineapples and pumpkins coming out, but those represent the fruits of our labors and the breakthrough research information. Over here we call this the Cambridge Curator. And we're going to analyze categorize this research information, layer it in hierarchies, and then systematize it over processes. And then we'll put that and display it. This was the Cambridge Curator, this is the Boston Cube, and we're building with Hugh O'Donnell and Hyosek Kong. We've built this display in Google SketchUp Pro 2017. And we've also taken these layers and focusing on personal health competencies and all the things that go into making operational the idea that the pharmaceutical industry calls when they say, try Invokana, try 2J, try any number of new products and, quote, along with diet and exercise, unquote. Well, we're going to display these lifestyles in here and what's involved so that there's a record of what people can do and what they might want to try to do, and a whole collection of catalogs and curricula and competencies and concepts for individuals, persons, for social groups, for organizational groups, for political groups, for whole civilizational groups, over a process that includes this process here: the passion, 2, the aspiration, 3, the vision, 4, the mission, and 5, the execution. And then we're going to put it in a clock framework so that people can map the patterns of daily living so that they start living lives where, as a matter of habit, as a matter of normal daily living, they're living lives that are going to produce the results that they want, that people select for themselves. And the whole management, I do this, I call this the Washington, D.C. clock. And then I have the New York City of Manhattan. The brain, it turns out, according to Van J. Woodine of Harvard Medical School and Mass General Hospital, is like a clock, is like a city. And we've mapped the city. This is 5th Avenue. This is coming up here. This is from the back of the brain to the front of the brain. and this is 59th Street coming across here. And these layers in the buildings and the basements, each of which is constructed with these 5 by 5 by 5 cubes to make up these cities with cross streets. And you're here in the center of the city at the intersection. This is the future, this is the past, these are the people on the right brain, these are the technologies on the left brain. Down below is your memory, this is your consciousness in the middle, your imagination is up top. So you've got past, present, future, memory, consciousness, imagination, and humanity, creativity, and technology. All integrated. And so we're moving down here to the mission and organization with the technology and teams. We've got Salesforce.com, we've got Microsoft TechSoup, we're using Amazon, we're absolutely using Apple with the iPhone and the iPad, iPhone 10 and iPad Pro. We're using Facebook. We're going to use all these technologies, and a team that includes my partner Nashard Kader from the Kennedy School, and also James Graham, Loshek, Artem Loshek, my Russian programmer. You got to have a Russian programmer. Susan Kidney, who has been my marketing medical thought leader and packager. Rogerio Almeida and Jeanette Atkinson and Tom Atkinson and Dennis Bonilla, who has been a strong supporter throughout during the good times and the bad times, and who sees and the possibility of the vision. Over here we talk about the execution of the project and the proposals. We want to launch what we're calling the second Manhattan Project because it relates to the streets of Manhattan, and we're going to enrich your cranium instead of enrich uranium to build the anatomic neuron bomb that will obliterate the chronic diseases of civilization, beginning with Alzheimer's and dementia and cancer and respiratory failure and obesity and chronic fatigue syndrome and acne and vision loss. All these chronic diseases that show that the body has been damaged as a natural part of living. The metabolism damages, and then the body is able to clean that up until it's not able to clean it up. And there are lots of things that we will collectively discover to solve the problems of humanity and make the world a better place. Beginning with Alpha Test Charlie, and then going on to Alpha Chest Whole Systems International Corporation, Beyond the Whole Brain Foundation, and working with Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Jamie Dimon, Bill Gates, Steve Ballmer, Mark Benioff, and not to leave out Dale Bredesen and Drs. Dale Bredesen and Mark Hyman and Rudy Tanzi and Joseph Kvedar, and the key members of the Whole Brain Foundation that were Malcolm Mackay as our director from New York State, Chancellor of New York, of Long Island University in Brookville, Gene Colucci, the American Indian and Irishman, but an American Indian, Gene Colucci, who was the Navy pilot who came and joined Basic Systems in 1962 and helped orchestrate the engineering development of the one-dimensional framework that we had in those days for programmed instruction that allowed us to sell our company to Xerox. We were essentially the East Coast version of Xerox PARC, the Palo Alto Research Center. They bought Basic Systems, as it said in the Wall Street Journal, for the brains. And it was those brains that helped to go on at Palo Alto and in New York and Cambridge to build the two-dimensional frameworks that we knew in the 80s, the graphical user interface, Ned Herman's whole brain model, which was a slice of the brain, left and right and limbic to cerebral. And now we are going into the almost 18 years into the new millennium, and it's time for the whole brain, three-dimensional conceptual framework that will allow humanity to keep in charge of themselves and work with others in collaboration to build the world that we can envision. That's enough for this morning, but stay tuned because we're on our way.